I'm just gonna explain to you what the F they did inside of my mouth. Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm gonna try not to smile. It hurts my mouth when I smile. It is the saddest thing ever. So if I'm laughing, I'm gonna be like I got my wisdom teeth out yesterday. You know, like in Ed, and Eddie, that old kids TV show where they put jawbreakers in their mouth and they're like huge? That's literally me right now. I don't know, I can't decide if it makes my jaw look like more chiseled or if I just look fat. But first of all, I have a crippling fear of the dentist, okay? Ever since I was a child, I've had so many teeth problems. Literally, I went to the dentist when I was like 10 and I had like 10 cavities. And like the next year I went back and I had like 7 more. I had braces and headgear. I just honestly want to get all my teeth freaking removed and get dentures because that would honestly be easier. Keep your teeth healthy. It sucks. I think it was 7 years ago now. My orthodontist made me get a few teeth pulled and that was the last time I ever went to the dentist. My boyfriend, he got insurance through his company that he works for. And so I went there. They were like, you have a lot of issues. You have 11 cavities. You're gonna have 2 root canals and you have to get your wisdom teeth out because they're up your jaw and your teeth and stuff.
What do we got?
Root canal, and by the looks of those x-rays, it's not gonna be pretty.
I freaking spiraled into a depression.
Now he's doing the shoulder technique.
They told me that my teeth were more prone to get cavities. And I'm like, yeah, no, I had that figured out like 12 years ago. After they gave me like an x-ray and all that stuff, they started cleaning my gums and girl, I almost drove off a cliff afterward. That hurt so bad. Take a freaking drill thing that like vibrates and they shove it under your gums. My gums were bleeding so much. Like I should have filmed all of this and like gone in there so it would have been more of like a visual video. You get the story time version, okay? They gave me painkillers and a drug called Valium, which is like gets you high basically. I'm like, okay, well if they're knocking me out for my wisdom teeth, why are they giving me Valium? It's normal, I thought, to be knocked out. I have only heard of like 2 people in my whole life not getting put to sleep. And I was like, okay, thank the Lord, at least I'll be unconscious. We called in and I'm like, okay, well, am I getting put to sleep? And they're like, well, we gave you like Valium. Well, like, can I be put to sleep? No, you shouldn't because your insurance won't cover it and it's too much money. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was this whole dramatic thing. I was with my boyfriend. I started crying. You think I'm being dramatic, but I'm serious. I started crying and it felt like the most miserable thing imaginable. I had plans to make like a funny video where like my boyfriend would film me being weird on drugs and like picking me up and stuff. But I couldn't do that because they didn't put me to sleep. I couldn't sleep that night. In the morning, I woke up. I took a painkiller like they told me to. I couldn't eat because I was so sick. And so I took my Valium and I took the painkiller. Valium like literally made me feel so weird. I felt like my soul was like walking in front of my body. Like my body was like delayed. It was like the weirdest thing ever. They were also doing like fillings and stuff. So it was a 3-hour procedure. That's like going to school for half a day. And so I'm like, okay, that's so long. My boyfriend's like, they'll probably have a TV for you. Guess what? They didn't. They had Google images on the ceiling that did not help at all. Okay, girl. It was like a picture of like an owl and like a waterfall. I'm like, is that supposed to like soothe me while I'm getting my teeth ripped out of my skull? Yeah, I'm just gonna explain to you what the F they did inside of my mouth. They shoved these 2 sticks in the back of my mouth with like some gross jelly stuff. Get numb to the back of my mouth. So they gave me laughing gas and they put that thing on my nose. And guess what? They didn't let me pick the flavor like they usually do. And so I was already pissed. That stuff doesn't really do anything to me. I was taking the deepest breaths. I'm like, I do not want to be aware of what's happening. So I'm like, they leave me alone for like 10 minutes and I took a selfie and I'm like, girls and help. They come back and I think that they know that the shots hurt a lot. And so the assistant lady and the dentist, they were like purposely having this really loud conversation about like someone who got shot, trying to like distract me, I think. They start putting the shots in and instantly I'm like crying and I'm like, all of a sudden I couldn't feel my face. They like walked out again and let like me sit there for a while. I don't know why they kept leaving me. I kept like touching my face and it felt so weird. It didn't feel like it was my body. They started drilling really freaking hard into my molars, doing my fillings. I think that's what they were doing. That wasn't too bad. I felt fine. I felt like I was daydreaming sometimes because like the drugs I was taking, but I still felt everything and I was like aware for sure. After that, that's when they started the wisdom teeth. They cut open my gums. I didn't really feel that part at all. Like I didn't even know when they were doing that. I don't know what the tool looks like when they take your teeth out, but all I can imagine is like pliers that like lock down because like you can hear it. It's like and then they start pulling. The guy was putting all of his freaking pressure on my jaw. I thought my jaw was gonna break open. Like that scene from King Kong when he rips open the T-Rex's jaw. That's what I thought was gonna happen to me. He pulled out like my first one. That one wasn't bad at all. This one hurt. I could hear it. I swear I could hear like the fibers in my bone like cracking. Like it hurt so bad. And I don't mean to scare anyone. If you haven't got your wisdom teeth out, you'll be fine. They'll most likely knock you out. Then they moved on to this one, and that one took a little bit longer. That one took like 10 minutes just to get it out. I felt like they couldn't get in there deep enough, and so they had to keep like pushing that thing in deeper to get around my tooth, and it was just like so disturbing to think about. I was trying to think about like puppies and stuff. They moved on to this one. This one was definitely the longest, definitely the most swollen. Do you see this jawline? I'm just killing it. Just kidding, it freaking hurts. They had to literally break my teeth into pieces because they were so stuck, and then they pulled the pieces out individually, and I could feel it. The getting my wisdom teeth out, like actually taken out, because I knew when they were doing it because it was the most painful part of the whole thing. It was just like a deep pain in my jaw. Even though I was numb, I could still feel it for sure, and he was like shaking. Like, you know when you're pushing so hard on something that you're like shaking? That's what he was doing, and it was freaking me out. Then I wasn't even sure if I was done. Then they like sat me up, and I was literally just like traumatized. They shoved gauze in the back of my mouth, and I'm like, wait, stop. And so then that was my procedure, and it was painful. It wasn't too bad. It honestly didn't feel like 3 hours. It felt like an hour and a half. So it tripped me out. Maybe I'm a time traveler, who knows? And so they only did basically half of my dental work on that appointment. I have to go back in January, and they are doing root canals and more fillings on top because my insurance money for this year will only cover what I had done yesterday. Frick. My boyfriend had to drive me home because apparently you're not allowed to drive home when you're on those drugs. I literally sat there all day in so much pain. I took my pain pills. I took like 20 Advil. My face was so numb. All this drool would just build up, all this saliva, and it would just like start dripping down my face. I'd be like watching TV, then I'd go to the bathroom. It was like saliva mixed with blood, and it was just like a bloody strand hanging down like all over my shirt. I guess I can't do weird faces anymore. That's like my thing because I'm really freaking weird. After like 8 hours, my numbness went away and I could not drink any water. My pee was so orange and I can't eat anything. I ate like soup and that took about like 3 hours. Oh my gosh, and then I forgot to say this. Literally, I got home and I looked in the mirror and they cut my tongue. Here, let me try to zoom in. See that? So they literally like sliced my tongue. I don't know how. I swear they have like code words so you don't know what they're talking about so you don't get scared. So I have stitches in the back of my mouth and it's gross. I swear one of them's undone. I don't know. I'm scared. Here, let me try to show you. So you can see there's like pieces of skin hanging. They're like white. It's like really weird. Yeah, so it's all the way back there. And you can see like that chunk of my tooth that's missing right there. So girl, learn your lesson from me, floss. Look how chubby I look, oh my God. Anyway, that's my experience getting my wisdom teeth out and the painful and just me being honest about how it felt. And they give you gauze and I soaked through like so many things of gauze because your gums don't stop bleeding for like 10 hours. So much blood comes out and it scares me. I was afraid to drink stuff because I didn't want to drink blood because I'm not a vampire. Yeah, so I gotta go back in a few weeks and I will give you guys an update. Maybe I'll take my camera when I get my root canal. I'm so scared. I'm always scared. I'm never not gonna be scared, but at least the worst is over, right? Anyway, I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. And if you guys are getting your wisdom teeth out soon, don't be too scared. I survived. You can survive too. It will most likely put you to sleep and you'll be fine. They didn't do that to me because they're little. Anyway, that is all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for 740 subscribers. That means a lot to me and I will see you guys on the next one.